Hey friend, it is great to be here on this Sunday morning with you. I'm gonna wait a moment as it's alerting everybody to know that I'm live here. I'm looking forward to being able to connect with you today. I'm someplace different. I am in a temporary office space here on Sunday, and it's nice and quiet because there's nobody here. But today I am doing something a little bit different, and that's actually what I want to share with you today. When your heart leads you to do something different, but your mind comes up with all of these reasons why you shouldn't. And usually it's tied to some kind of fear that something bad will happen. And so that's what I want to share with you today. And perhaps you're experiencing this right now in your life. And if you are, drop in the comments below. Let me know what that thing is that you're fearing, that your heart is leading you to do, but your mind is it's stopping you every step along the way, saying, whoa, I can't do this, for whatever reason that might be. For whatever reason that might be. Because it's hard. It's hard to accept. It's hard to let go of those things that our mind is coming up with. It plays on our fears. And maybe you've been experiencing this for a while. There was a time in my life when I was working for corporate America that I was in that precise space. I was in fear of making the jump, working full-time, doing what I love doing, what I'm doing now. And so I sat in that fear for 10 years. Going to a job that I dreaded, going to a job that I couldn't stand going to, but it paid well. So I just kind of sucked it up and lived through it, if you will. And what kept me stuck was the fear. I just couldn't figure out the how. And if truth be told, if I'm being honest with myself, I just didn't trust myself. And more, I didn't even really fully trust God in showing me and allowing myself to learn as I go, and for God to show me as I go. I just didn't have that trust in myself or God. It just seemed like too big of a leap. The possibility was just too big that I could possibly do it. And so maybe like me, it's about how you're going to move forward in a job or a career. Or maybe it's related to a relationship that you're in, or maybe it's related to a major life choice and you're just not sure what to do. Do you do it now or do you wait? Or if you wait, for how much longer? And what if it's too late when I finally make that choice? Then what? All these things come up into our mind, and it just creates a lot of internal stress and tension and chaos, because we're bouncing between our heart's trying to lead us in the right direction, and then our mind just stops and puts the brakes on. If you know me personally, I am the kind of person, I like clarity. When I discern, I like to have clarity on things. It's very hard for me to live in the moment and on the fly, if you will, and to trust living that way. But when in the midst of internal confusion and chaos, how do you find the clarity in knowing what you should actually do? How do you find the clarity to know what's really right? And so when we're in that process of being stuck and bouncing between our heart and our mind and our heart and our mind, we're not feeling free. There's no free feeling in that at all. But actually, it's a feeling of being bound up in the stress of making the right choice. And maybe you can understand that if you're experiencing that. If you know what I mean, give me a like, give me a heart, drop something in the chat and say yes, that you can relate to this. Because it's hard. It is hard to trust ourselves. It's hard to trust where our heart is leading us to go. But I assure you, when you get into the practice of doing this, you're going to learn that our heart never leads us off a cliff. We're taught at a very early age, we cannot trust what our hearts are telling us. And we're stuck in this logical space of looking at things only from a logical standpoint. And we actually, if we believe in something bigger than ourselves, and I certainly do. I believe that there is a God that is rooting for me, not against me. If we believe in that, then why do we stay stuck in so much of our fear instead of the trust that we're being led to go in? Right? It's kind of a, in a way, it's almost a paradox, but it says something about what we're believing in ourselves, in something greater than us. How much do we believe? What are we willing to stake in that belief is what we're really talking about here. So how do we do this without taking risk? That was what was in my mind, right? It was a big risk, and I was in fear of possibly making the biggest mistake of my life. But the thing is, and that I've learned, is that there really are no mistakes. There are no mistakes. We're always experiencing exactly what we need to experience in that moment, at that period of time. And if we're open and aware, we will be open to receiving whatever we're supposed to learn from that experience. Because every experience we have, there's always something to learn to help us grow. So I'm going to be hosting a free online workshop on Tuesday evening, April 19th, called Invitation Freedom. And this is, I've purposely named it this because it's really an invitation for you. It's an invitation for you to become free from being bound up and feeling stuck. So during this workshop, I'm going to be leading you and a small group of people through a process that's going to cut through all the stress, the confusion, and all of the superficial things that are constantly distracting you, so that you can have an opportunity to get answers to these things, these questions, these things that keep going back and forth between your heart and your mind. You'll be able to get some answers, clear answers for what is really true for you and what is best for you. I'm going to be holding this in a private online Zoom room at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and it'll only be about 90 minutes long. So if you're feeling called to participate in this, if you feel that this would help you, and I believe it would, it certainly helped me, and I can't wait to share it with you, I would love for you to join me. Just send me a private message or comment below, yes please, and I'll send that Zoom link registration to you to join. Actually, I think there might be a link for it below. I did specify a link in this Facebook Live. I'm not sure if it's displaying there or not. So if it's not, just comment and let me know, and I will be sure to get you that link. This is an experiential type of workshop. So for the privacy of those participating, I'm not going to be recording it. I'm going to be keeping the group small in size, so the spots are going to be limited in number. So if you cannot participate live with us on that Tuesday evening, I'm just kindly requesting that you do not register for it, but to allow someone else to have that open spot, to have someone else who would benefit from it to occupy that spot. So I'm sending you today many heart hugs and high fives. If you have questions about that, please mention that in the comments, and I will answer them in the comments for you. But maybe there's some aspect of your life that you're feeling stuck in, that there is something that you would just love to do, but something is holding you back. And there's this aspect of trust in yourself. You're not trusting yourself to take that step. If that is you, share with me what that is. I'd love to be able to inspire you and to encourage you. And I would again invite you to join me for the workshop, because I'm sure that will bring some clarity to you as well. So much love, high fives. I will talk to you later.